It's just fantastic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another end of year review. Today we're going to be obviously looking into the 2024 for Chantel, aka Foodie Beauty, aka Big Beautiful Me, aka Visa Productions, aka Everyday Miriam, and any other name she likes to use and change on a regular basis. We're going to start by talking about the end of December 1st, and by that I mean December 2023. News came to light that Chantel's beloved, her life partner, the man that is her bedrock, the man that is her stability, her one true and only desire in life next to Nashi's, had been cheating on her in the form of sexting, offering to pop and defecate on somebody else. Many people in the comments of Chantel's own content when she had announced this told her to cut ties, don't go back to Kuwait, don't bother doing any of that, rebuild your life in Canada, in Cornwall. And initially, Chantel made it seem like she would, and we did cover this in a video on this channel called
Foodie Beauty Keeps Calm and Carries On.
Not long after that though, Chantel made a executive decision that was bestest for her. She went back to Kuwait. She hadn't been in Canada all that long, and many of us believed she would be staying there for a while to rebuild her finances so she could go back and basically blow it all again, undoubtedly with some kind of 1-year contract extension for Salah so he could be paid to be present in the couple's content. Via Chantel's community post, "Hi guys, I privated my previous video. I am confused and just need some time away to myself to figure things out in my life." She then followed this up with a decision video titled My Final Decision, which was on the final day of December 2023. Liked, disliked, disabled, comments turned off. In the video, she made the following decision.
I did a lot of talking with him and probably should have done that before I came to the internet freaking out, but I have the track record of when something goes wrong, I impulsively go live and just let it all out. So, which brings me to some reasons I've decided to make the decision I did. I decided to forgive him and move on and try to.
She followed this up with the community post. "Before I leave for a long while, I want to say that having a fetish, no matter how taboo, does not define a person or make them a criminal. A lot of people have secret fetishes. Salah has
Never ever
once treated me badly other than the infidelity in this
one
case. He was never ABUSIVE and is not a violent person. He has no criminal record of violence," said incorrectly on purpose, "and is very sweet and gentle with me. I'm not defending him talking to someone secretly. However, we need to try and heal. A marriage, if there is love and if the good outweighs the bad, may be worth saving. I should never have been impulsive and went live to even discuss it. To the desperate, ugly, that word, who started it, you are sad and no man will ever respect you. Your flex is that you got Salah's attention. Betch, he wanted to use you as a toilet. Desperate as hell. Anyway, I'm judging by how he has already treated me. He has never been anything except kind and loving. You weirdos let Kaya back, and she shacked up with a child pimp. Different ballpark altogether. We are human beings and mess up. Anyway, regardless, we need a long break to deal in private. Ta-ta for now." Comments turned off. After her very long break of 24 hours, on the 2nd of January 2024, Chantel put out her first video titled
Preparing to fly 13 hours straight.
Understandably, the comments are turned off, as are the like to dislike being visible. In this video, Chantel has clearly made her decision. To save face and her original intent to show how magical her marriage is, Chantel has decided to head back to Kuwait.
You know that situation where you brush your teeth, you use mouthwash, all that stuff, you do your oral care, okay? And then what happens is you forget to drink water after, and then you get that like toothpaste pasty mouth, and it's like minty but also bad breathy. Gross.
In an attempt to make it seem like her marriage is clearly not on the rocks and is total legitness, Chantel put out a community post simply, "This train never crashes," with a selfie. Many highlight the vast amount of filters she uses and the fact that that ring, yes, it's starting to show some wear that you would get from plastic when the metallic paint is starting to rub off or fracture. Because we have to, in every month, undoubtedly include those of World that Chantel cannot not respond to at every waking opportunity because she needs them. It was recently in January discovered that FFG frequented the same legalized weed store pharmacy place that Chantel goes to. Chantel found out and fired up a stream that was originally titled Yup, I Do and What, changing the title later to
Someone needs a 5150 from the CSLC.
This stream is now private, because as with any stream that has any controversy, she will put it up initially to get donations and attention, and then immediately tuck tail run and private later when she gets clarted for it. Here is a relevant clip from that stream now.
Like, you think these same people will sit there for hours, like, analyzing an 8-minute video on nothing? She'll get mad because there's not enough snow on the ground. You need psychological help, not me. You're the fucking psycho, not me. Like, I'm not stalking people going to dispensaries or asking, yeah, has this YouTuber been in your dispensary? Because she's Muslim. Like, who the fuck are you? You're nothing.
I did notice on Twitter a considerable amount of divide over FFG going to that particular dispensary. I don't care. What really riled Chantel was that apparently FFG had asked about Chantel frequenting that store, and Chantel believed that was some kind of doctor-patient confidentiality. Others pointing out on Twitter that this might fall under the PIPEDA Act, which again is divided as to whether or not it applies in this context. In that same stream, Chantel goes off on FFG quite a bit, which is again another reason why the stream is privated, because Chantel wants to be seen to be better than FFG. Here is a relevant clip of that now.
I'm not even going there because that's what they want. They're so irrelevant to my life. Get out of here. They're the most embarrassing people on the internet. They have the nerve. I wouldn't show my face. I'm not embarrassed. Whatever. I don't get embarrassed. You can't humiliate me. You can't cancel me. So move on. Or the one where you can see him smoking meth. Yeah. Yeah.
Chantel also doxed the individual at the dispensary, which in that same stream is a bit dangerous. It is dangerous because it risks that person's position as an employee, all for the sake of one person that she cannot vanquish going to the same dispensary as she goes to. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to play that clip, because unlike Chantel, I have standards. Doxing is not acceptable. It was quite amusing though that upon Chantel doxing the person that served her, allegedly doxing that person as well, many of those within Chantel's community that do not like Chantel went to the retailer and left positive reviews. So it was a positive review bomb, which was quite heartwarming, I will admit. On the 5th of January 2024, Chantel put out a video titled,
I can't believe my husband did this.
Because Chantel is finally back where she belongs, in the land of the free, and the hope and the faith, the happiness, the love that she has always dreamt of. So yeah, she's back in Kuwait, and Chantel could not be any happier.
Had a shower and just got in the new bed with the nice new sheets, and it was so amazing. Just an amazing night, and yeah, an amazing night.
On the exact same day, Chantel also put out a video titled
Last Vlog in Canada.
Like to dislike turned off, and as is often the case with Chantel's videos, there isn't much in the way of engagement, so finding the best parts with her videos is a lot harder than it is with the likes of Amber Lynn. To be honest, that video is not worth going through. A brief clip from her return to Kuwait though, beyond the clearly her getting totally laid last night kind of thing. Yes, let's play some of that.
I thought I would talk a bit. I didn't film any of my journey home, really. I don't think so. I was so tired and out of it that I don't even remember what I filmed. But I'm finally here, and when I tell you that this journey is probably the worst one, it was just every single thing that I had fear about with traveling as a fat person happened to me.
Now, because the subject of the dispensary is not going to go anywhere just yet, Chantel put out a community post, since obviously deleted, where she engaged with a comment. The comment reads, "There is no expectation of privacy in public." She replies, "It's a private store, dum dum," where she liked it herself. That's interesting. This is how dumb the Chinyans are. The dispensary is not a public place, it's a private establishment. Anyway, for those saying I got the employee potentially fired, nah. The employee did this to themselves first for even doing what they did and giving their workplace a bad name, and second, FF Loser is the only one who exposed that an employee did the dirty deed. I just happen to know who it is, allegedly. Anyway, I'm sure all will be revealed in time. In the meantime, I don't really give two craps about it, just pointing out how psychotic Slimer is. I see Chantel's evolving her nicknames for Frenchie. Chantel followed this up with a video titled,
FFG could cost someone their job for some tea.
This video is now private. In February we'll discuss that more, by the way, because she does private a lot of videos up to a point. Here is a relevant clip from the now privated video.
I did complain to the dispensary and I got a reply pretty promptly that they were investigating the situation, and I hear that somebody's job is on the line because of this, so give yourself a round of applause, you loser, FFG, and don't try to turn it around on me because you're the one who involved that dispensary in particular. I did say the name, but if it's not her who did it, there's nothing to worry about, right?
To try and dispel some of the rumours that her marriage to Salah is clearly on the rocks, as if it was legit in the first place, screenshots of their WhatsApp messages came to light, showing Salah being thoughtful, caring, understanding, nurturing, and encouraging. For example, going to a doctor to deal with the diabetes and her mental health problems. The distraction that is the Scatman controversy, the faulty marriage, and the dispensary, to me, came across as something done to distract from one, because apparently the internet can't weaponize all three at the same time. Chantel really doesn't understand the internet. Hyper-focusing on all of it is a possibility. Away teams were sent to all three to analyze, investigate, and regurgitate. Now moving on, we're going to skip to the 8th of January 2024. Chantel put out a video titled,
Weighing in and other matters.
This is the first video in a while where the comments are turned back on. However, a lot of the comments are heavily siphoned, filtered, and regulated. Reviewed, yes? So only positive comments are seen. This is also one of the first videos in quite some time where the video is broken up into relevant chapters. Weighing in was the first and most important part, which is where we are now going to go.
I want to try to eat a lot cleaner foods, try to find healthier versions of the foods I love. Doing this video to come on here and let you know that I will not be addressing, I will try my best. I'm not going to be acknowledging those people anymore. They have issues. If you're trying to invade someone's life like that to that extent, that's really horrible for you and me. I'm just gonna focus on myself. Whoa. My cat just knocked everything over.
The delusion of being as light as she claims to be is astonishing. She looks bigger than last year, and she claimed at the start of 2023 she weighed the same. Unless she lost muscle mass and bone density, I do not believe this for a moment. I do not believe I am alone in this belief. It should also be added that Chantel's claims of keeping things private and ignoring the haters is another one of those empty promises, like turning her health around. Over the month of January 2024, many call into question the legitimacy of the relationship between Chantel and Salah. To prove this, they point at the fact that the very person who called Salah out for the sexting, the scat, and other such conversation also happened to be a mod in his own live streams mere months before this all came to light. It gets all the more amusing when you find that Nada himself had also been doing live streams covering this subject, taking full advantage of all the potential it could in fact contain. Much like with Amber Lynn, other users on Twitter have started to, instead of watching her content, an individual will simply go and watch it and review it in a thread on Twitter. In this we have Pete's of Poop, well not that, but DX, who at this point reviewed a number of Chantel's videos. The more recent one in this context being from the 10th of January titled,
How am I staying binge free? And a huge grocery haul.
In that particular video, while talking about how she's going to better herself and her blood sugar level, she does a food shop. In that, As pointed out by DX, there's a lot of fruit, bread, cheese, more cheese, butter, bread, cream, Nutella, oil, salad dressing, chicken strips, french fries, juice, soup, parmesan, flour, chocolates, mayo, noodles, frozen meat, and that both food hauls cost about $248. Chantal claims that this is a new positive era for her, and that her blood sugar level reading was 8.5 after fasting, and that while she intends to eat healthy, she'd also been eating pretty hefty. Nothing reeks of healthy more than heavy meals. Now naturally, if you're going to keep in with the concept of healthy living, of course, you also need to balance that out by being super healthy and doing a shrimp seafood mukbang in Kuwait, which she did on the 10th of January. Chantal is quite the uploader and streamer. She will stream and upload more than twice a day if she can, and she needs to because she is a slave for views. In January, the views she would have gotten for the video won't equate to much in the way of money. It certainly won't cover the cost of the meal if the video is monetized. Here is a clip from that mukbang now.
It's a stupid thing because they make the chairs that way. Good shrimp. You can just lift it up when it's time for meal service, you know?
On the 13th of January 2024, Chantal put out another video titled
Walking
something something.
seaside in Kuwait to lose 200 pounds.
Now this is her feeble attempt at trying to make it seem like she's going to actually turn her life around and lose some of that weight that she has been struggling to lose for quite some time. Invariably, as we saw in 2023 and many years before in fact, she would commit to this for 1 or 2 days and then she would quit. That is typically how she operates. But something that was highlighted by many on social media is how the filters haven't really been working on this one because of the profile picture. This picture does not do her any favours at all. On the 13th of January, Chantal also streamed in a stream titled
Good evening.
The most relevant quote within this video, pertinent to the discussion, would be the following.
I don't let things that have happened with me, like trust issues with people, I don't want it to like affect me making connections with people because, you know, people are gonna come and go, and if you get screwed over by somebody, usually what I do is just, okay, cut it off and that's it, goodbye, you know, whatever. And then you meet more people, and not everyone is gonna be bad, but some people just are, you know.
Scrolling through 2 hours worth of that crap was not worth it. But it does almost come across as someone implying that they are on par with that of a prophet and a messiah, which is amusing. Now, if we are to take Chantal seriously for a moment, she finally, in a separate stream titled
Dinner and Hangout Live,
apparently gave us a weigh-in of sorts, where she said the following.
Okay, I weighed myself, and I was the exact same weight, like 161. And my highest at the doctor's, I was 166 kilos, right? Not pounds, kilos. I wish pounds. So I'm 161 kilos, and I don't know why. I'm thinking, like, I know you're gonna laugh at me, but do you think maybe like my muscles are building a little bit from doing more exercise, and that could be weighing more? Because I'm not eating anything too bad, you know?
Nobody believes that for an iota of a moment. There is no version of any reality where your weight has not changed, yet your body has. This is not the face of somebody who tells the truth. This is the face of somebody who can't help but force feed you BS or believe their own lies over and over again. Now, it's not just on YouTube Chantal is active. She's also trying to grow the Foodie Beauty brand. As many of you will undoubtedly know, she tries to do cameos. We're not going to go through those here. We just know they exist and they're trash. Another platform though that she has started to use a little bit more often, no doubt to keep up with the likes of Amberlynn Reid, would be TikTok. Here is an example of some of that stellar content.
Hello there, so my name is Chantal and I'm a Canadian, currently living in Kuwait with my husband, and some of the things I love about Kuwait is just how beautiful the country is. I love going to the Kuwait Towers for a walk, and here I am at the Soup Shark seaside getting some exercise. I don't have the ocean around me where I'm from in Ontario, so I'm always amazed by the beautiful beachscapes here in Kuwait.
On the 15th of January 2024, Chantal put out a video titled
Walking Weight Loss Challenge. Huge mall in Kuwait.
Oh, she did something more exciting on my birthday at least. Chantal got out and about in Kuwait. While not the most interesting of videos, and her views reflect that, I guess it's something slightly more exciting than Amber, who says she does things and does nothing at the same time. And as is the case with all of Chantal's videos, there is no point that is considered the most replayed, again demonstrating just how trash her content is. So here's a random clip from it.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So today we are in an area of Kuwait called Hiran. It's a very more upscale, ritzy area, and families like to come here on the weekends if they own properties here. Some of them own the properties and rent out chalets for the weekend. So it's more busy on the weekend. So we're here on a Sunday where it's not as busy, so we can show you more without a lot of bustling noise. So here I am in front of some properties here, and these properties have access to this beautiful water right from the Gulf Sea.
Oh, and apparently this is 161 kilos. I have two questions. The first is, would you like to give us the rest of that number? And the second, where's the chair? Chantal, in an attempt to claw back viewers, to drum up additional attention, did actually do a weigh-in Monday in a separate video titled Did I Lose or Gain? Yes, I dropped the voice for a second. Here is the weigh-in.
So before I eat this, I want to show you my weigh-in here. And Bismillah.
Now obviously Chantal is not done with this day, and also uploaded a video titled
350-pound woman works out at Hamadi Park, Kuwait.
Because yes, much like Amy's life journey, we need to see someone do some rather amusing attempts at workouts. And you're right, I'm going to share that with you.
I find my stamina is already so much better. So far we walked 400 meters, I think. Yallah.
Oh, you go, girl. Get them gains, fam. Get swole. Which will also just be attributed to water weight when you put your back out. Now, with all attempts to lose weight, of course there are going to be fumbles. In Chantal's case, it's one titled
Taco Bell Cheat Meal,
which she has since deleted from her YouTube channel. But that's okay, we've got the video.
My husband met me and I was fat. Being on video before we met in person, the video apparently adds pounds.
Aren't we smart? Now, the reason Chantal deleted that cheap meal Taco Bell video wasn't because of the cheap meal aspect to it, because she always cheap meals anyway, mostly off camera. It was entirely because of the shade she was throwing at everyone else, and because she knew that she'd get a lot of blowback for it. You can add to that the fact that she was getting super defensive over Salah and his interest in her. Others had also started speculating, because of her outings being very Spartan with humanity, that she was timing her outings during the Islamic call to prayer. And to be honest, there's a fair point to that. Now, after going through one cheap meal and totally working out, naturally, Chantal wants to come back and bait you all out with a video titled
My Healthy Chicken Pot Pie.
You can call something healthy all you like. When you have something as large as that in front of you, you can argue that the contents of it are healthy for what they are nutritionally. When you eat so much of it, it is no longer healthy, is it? I could say the same for eating Jaffa cakes. If I eat one, it's totally fine. If I eat 50, it is not okay. I've mentioned Chantal's cameo. Well, her cameo got a cameo in a Mama Max video produced by Nick Diorio on the 17th of January 2024, when Mama Max's career was well and truly annihilated. Here is that cameo now.
Well, hello, Camden Gerard Davis. So I've been told to roast you because you wear werewolf teeth, and I guess you think that's cool, and I've been told to tell you to stop making friends in Texas. I'm sure you would like to be on this beach with your werewolf teeth.
Now, as we know, Chantal is doing her damnedest to get her weight on track. So naturally, a live stream titled
Eat Lunch With Me
needs to happen so Chantal can show you just how professional she is in this manner. Here is a relevant part of Chantal taking her health very seriously.
Bismillah. Thank you.
Bismillah indeed. Chantal really has been going off on one when it comes to content production in the month of January. While streaming on a regular basis, she is producing a lot of content. Whether it's good content is debatable, of course, but the frequency of the upload indicates that she is really trying to make a lot of content. Example, on the 18th of January 2024,
Canadian road trips to Iraq border.
And visiting some farm. In this video we get very couples channel-esque content, but still no Salah on camera, and that's important. He's there, he's holding the camera after all, but he's not featuring in the videos themselves. So what do we get instead? Really cringy audio and some very unflattering angles of Chantal. I am somewhat surprised we don't, in these videos, get much in the way of further abuse of the camera filters by having everything go a little concave. It's been a while since we did any community posts from Chantal, so I guess we're going to have to go here to some obvious commentary from her with regards to her favourite fan and favourite person, FFG. So this person repeatedly says my hands look like trotters. Seems a bit hypocritical, no? The only thing Goral World knows what to do best is project. And no, this is not photoshopped. It's a literal screenshot, lol. Haven't looked in a mirror in years, huh? Comments were turned on this, and as you can see, people made their opinions quite clear. Continuing, listen SpongeBob, there is no way you have the nerve to try and lecture your audience on my morality or behaviour when you are sleeping with and defend a convicted child Predator. Not FFG, but it's okay, we swing back now. I can recommend some chin spanks if you want. Also, why the F are you commenting on what I eat? You didn't get this way by eating an entire pineapple for dinner, just saying. This further proving the point that Chantal spends far too much time watching FFG's content when she's also meant to be producing her own content at the same time. These posts were deleted because they did exactly what she needed them to do. Bait out for response, delete, get some residual views and attention, and milk it. Although, considering the limited amount of success she can get from that, in the sense that not many views are going to be going her way, it seems a bit redundant. Shortly after those community posts, Chantal posted a video to her YouTube channel titled
Plus size clothing shopping, grocery haul, and desert walk with camels.
Where Chantal continues to treat the audience like they are tourists, and she's giving us a brochure-esque video done by some B-Tech quality assistant.
Guys, I apologize, but I had to mute the original sound here on the video as I forgot to put my wind noise buffer on my mic, so the wind noise was way too loud. So here I am once again visiting the camels in the desert. I really don't know why it makes me so happy to come here. It's desolate, there are no people, mostly only camels. I find these animals to be super cute and docile.
She also posted another video on the same day titled Cooking an Arabic Breakfast. We're not going to look at that because I don't care. But she did also go live in a stream titled
Good day.
And then following up with
Eat lunch with me.
No lie, she is quite, for someone that doesn't put in too much in the way of effort, she can be quite prolific. Many of us believe less is more. Many of us also believe in quality over quantity. And then there are Chantels, many of them in other communities that just believe if I pump out so much, I'm going to get what I want out of this. I mean, others just buy subs. You don't know anyone that does that now, do you? Now, I just want to show something because it tickled me to no end. I'm going to have to cut the audio out and I'm just going to put it on loop. It's on the screen now. You are watching Chantal doing some hand gestures to some Syrian music. Copyright reasons, the music is obviously gone. What I want to talk about is the filters. They deserve a raise. They are working overtime to make you look like the very thing you believe you should look like, but not at the same time. I like that you would rather look more Arabic as a person rather than thinner. I am somewhat surprised you have yet to find a filter that would make you both thinner and more Arabic in facial composition. One of Chantal's biggest problems is she cannot handle criticism aimed at her. Granted, she's never struck me, but what I mean by that is from her own Beezers. If they moderate for her, and she gets criticism from them, she will block them. They will then go to the very people that then spend their time criticizing her. The cycle isn't renewing as much as it used to because those very people now are getting their own communities of haters. It just continues, and as is the law of diminishing returns comes into full effect, it gets worse and worse really. But you're hardly the plateau, you know this. Yet you still persist in alienating your own audience that turn up to your live streams. At this point of the month, many are still going, and your numbers as a streamer are depleting significantly. On the 21st of January 2024, Chantal put out a video titled
Slip-ups on weight loss journey. ...
Many within her comments do point out that, as somebody on a weight loss journey, the one thing you don't want to keep in the house are snacks. The problem Chantal has, she's in Kuwait, she can't go out that often because of the time of year, which is hot all year round anyway, and the fact that she is quite large makes it very hard for her to get around to get snacks. Of course, she's also been having food delivered by her totally legit husband. And to accompany that as a follow-up, she then proceeds to upload on the 22nd of January another mukbang titled
Singari Seafood.
Within that, she also provides some medical advice, which she really shouldn't do. Here is a clip from the very first video, the slip-up.
And that's because I ate too much last night. So this is the reading. Actual fat.
And here is a clip from the mukbang.
Hot pepper.
She proceeded to follow these up with a stream titled The Beezing Hour, mercifully in lowercase. The only part that really stood out beyond the cope about Salah was this part.
Men are simple, that's why they need women, honestly. I don't think it's possible to love somebody in like a couple of days, but maybe, I don't know.
No, it's not the married man. I've only known this guy for like 2 days. And he wants to fly me out like next week and get married.
And as you saw from just saying there, contradiction found quite easily. It wouldn't be a month of the year without a rather long community post from Chantal that she has since gone on to edit and then since gone on furthermore to delete. So I'll read the first part and then we'll get to the edit. Please watch this video. It proves that I tried my best to investigate as much as I could with the resources I had, the person I was giving my BBJ to. People accusing me of not caring because of FFG's defamation, but you can clearly see in the conversation screenshots with the person whom I thought BBJ was going to, I had an appointment to get her nails done and health checkup. I even say it in the message. I honestly never ever in my wildest imagination thought that there would be someone sick enough as FFG and this person and her brother to come up with a scheme in order to literally steal the pet of someone. You can see most of the conversation in the video link. This person gained my trust and was very personal and reassuring. We can never be 100% sure whom we are rehoming to, and my mistake was rehoming her to a stranger. Again, I didn't think people were sick like this. Sure, she was taken to the vet by FFG, but as you see in the screenshots, I also had an appointment to do that. Should it have been as soon as I got home? Maybe. I didn't notice the nails until later though, and made an appointment promptly after. I had a lot to deal with in a short amount of time. I was severely depressed, and this person caused a lot of trauma. I would still like to follow through on a court case regarding this, but from here it is very hard, as I would have to appear in court as I was told by a civil litigator. I am still considering my options, but this whole event has caused deep trauma for me. It carries on for quite some time, and with my slow pace of reading, I'm going to tell you to just pause the video now if you want to read the rest of that. To the edit part at the top though,
it is
stealing, because she did not go to the person I intended her to. An entire scheme was made to take the cat, which is psychotic behavior. People defending this are sick. And another thing they is crazy is that zombies will say, be happy BBJ is safe. Prove it. Do a
video, not photo,
of her living a happy life, and I'll shut up. Also, another lie FFG told was that she was matted, but in the vet report her fur was noted as looking good, but in the pictures FFG posted of BBJ, her fur was all sloppy, chopped, and the liar claims that's because of the matted fur from me. Yet the cat was with her for many months at this point. She's full of it. At the bottom of the community post is an image of a conversation between Amy Flowers and Chantal. The video linked I'm going to play a short clip of now as well before we move on.
So an online stalker, bully, and harasser has gone too far and has asked me if they could have my cat because I think they could do a better job. When they found out I was rehoming and possibly euthanizing my 21-year-old cat. I said no, so they thought that they would go ahead and go a roundabout way and lie and manipulate by having somebody reach out to me and offer to take the cat. If I had known there was any affiliation with this person and FFG, I would have never given the cat to this person.
Chantal followed this up with another mukbang.
The best homemade cheesy chicken spaghetti.
On the 24th of January 2024, a clip of interest taken from Twitter, as opposed to the video itself, was Chantal talking about her caloric intake and steps taken.
I have MyFitnessPal downloaded, and they don't let you lose over they don't program more than 2 pounds per week weight loss. They deem that a healthy rate. So I'm allowed 1,800 and something odd calories. I'll post it here. And they want me to walk 6,000 steps a day. That's going to take me an hour and a half.
So 6k steps isn't all that much really, but for someone of her size, if true, that's actually not too bad, I guess, for a starting thing. Yeah, you should average 10k steps. I understand being a larger person it's a bit harder to do. 1,800 calories is completely unmanageable for you at the moment. People seem to be so quick to jump on we should just cut this down to this number and go from that. You will hit the wall faster, the satiety will kick in and do a number and you will regress immediately. Like Amberlynn Dainty Goral Queen nonsense of 24 hours and the cycle repeats. Simply reduce your caloric intake slowly over a period of weeks, months even, to get it down to the recommended. Take at least a year to do it. You may not have much in the way of time, but if you rush, you will hurt yourself. Consider that your advice for free from me. Not that you'll ever bloody well listen to it. There was one other clip actually, now I've thought about it. It was the conversation about the couples channel. You may have noticed a lot of what could be considered couples channel content as featured on the main channel, the at this point in January Foodie Beauty channel, and I say that because in February that's going to change. Of course it is. The reason why is because it was believed the channel had been demonetized. It was believed Chantal had changed her accounts to Kuwait or another country entirely for tax reasons, so she was temporarily demonetized. But Chantal had actually said it was because of the following.
The couples channel is already monetized and has a pretty decent audience already, and I don't think we'll be doing couples videos anymore. So, like I said, unfortunately, it's just our relationship is going to be very private.
Oh, and because this tickled me to no end, Chantal's been using MyFitnessPal and claimed that one of her meals was 1,004 calories. This was a portion of Parmesan-topped pasta, 2 whole roasted chickens cooked with oil, garlic, tomato sauce, butter, Parmesan, and a cup of cheddar cheese. I can imagine half of that being 1,000 calories, sure, if the chicken was smaller than the one you ate. Yeah, that's... You may not know how to calculate your intake. It was around this time as well that Chantal had announced she was considering making a reaction channel to the reactors, which I won't deny I would find highly amusing, because then you are making reactions to people reacting to you, who will in turn react to you reacting to them reacting to you. I can't hate the game or the player involved really, but knowing how fickle you are, I can't imagine it would last that long. And you'd probably end up just buying subs for it anyway. For the sake of it, Chantal did put up a community post. So I tried once again to do a reaction, but most of the ones I try and listen to either sound like the Wicked Witch of the East and West, or Marge Simpson's long-lost sisters, not to mention the sheer stupidity and the lost brain cells. I just can't do it. Lol. I don't know how many can listen to that for 2 or more hours. Insane. I'll just focus on myself like everyone suggested and leave them to stay obsessed about me, meanwhile not even acknowledging they exist. In the end, it's hardly a flex, since most of them are too cowardly to cam up when talking smack on others. Couldn't be me. Anyway, the bright side is any attention is good attention. New motto for this year. See you soon in a new video coming later today, Miss Yabizers. You should react to my videos. I don't sound like any of that. I just sound like a pretentious twat. I highly recommend. Also, I agree with your motto. Any attention is good attention, right? Now, Chantal has been setting herself more challenges to make it seem like she is trying to do more to better her health. And on the 25th of January 2024, she put out a video titled
3K Steps Walking Challenge at Boulevard, Kuwait.
In this video, Chantal had set herself a goal of, as you saw there, 3k steps, where the recommended was 6k. She actually managed by the end of it 4. Congratulations. Here's a clip of that.
I had no motivation because I wasn't feeling great, but if you ever have no motivation, just get there. The rest is the easiest part. It's a Sears. They're all closed in Canada.
On her community tab, she announced Q&A. This then became a video on her channel, spelt incorrectly. On the thumbnail, you'll notice how long is Salah grounded from the internet. She actually answers that in the video by saying the following.
He is offline because he chooses to. We're not embarrassed. He wants to be offline. He wants to do other things with his life. He just, this is not it for him. He doesn't want to be on YouTube at all anymore.
In truth, though, the only real interesting part of the video is the following.
I'm just going to lump all of these Salah questions into one answer. Where's Salah? What's he doing? Blah, 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 blah. I will not be answering that. That's, we're 100% keeping everything related to that private.
Generally, a Q&A is done as a video when you are too lazy to do anything else or because you've run out of ideas. Considering the vast amount of, air quote, content she has been producing of late, I can believe that both are happening simultaneously in this. On the 27th of January 2021, Chantal streamed with the title
Bedbound Era,
which is clickbait for the sake of it. As is often the case with Chantal, she makes an effort for one day, and the next day, the following happens.
Hi everybody, shortly after I went for that 3k walk, I felt fine the next day. And then I think the day after, I don't know what happened. I had a flare up. I did talk to a doctor about it. I did see a doctor. My whole leg is almost numb down to my feet.
So she did some workout and her body just decided, I'm going to misbehave now and you are going to malfunction, and you can then milk it for that sweet, sweet view and donations, which she's not doing very well on, just to be clear. Something I haven't mentioned much in this month because, to be honest, it's a bit of a ball ache to go through, concerns a back and forth with Yaba of the YouTube Underground and Foodie Beauty. Their disagreements with one another have been going on for quite some time. We'll go with a community post and then some tweets from Yaba so you can get some vague sense of what's going on. Foodie Beauty. This immoral cow has
children.
Imagine raising kids and planning an alive person's funeral. Never call me vile again. Cam up, coward, and show us how you don't also stuff your face, loser. The context is the image included. I will get back to staying focused, watching a death fat eat herself to death and planning her memorial. Yaba on Twitter was notified of this and later tweeted, imagine having to bring children and their dad that just passed away into your internet slap fight for sympathy. Imagine broadcasting UA yourself daily and no one caring, not even your own mother. Thanks for reminding us that you never deserve an ounce of pity. Your own family drove you to the airport and left you to be with a scammer in the Middle East. No one cares about you, no one. Rage more rage and have your little bitch boy filming you die bark for us. The lack of grammar triggers me. Oh, and with no level of irony, Chantal has also been doing streams without herself on camera, using some image that looks more like her than she does with the filters. And in one clip that was doing its rounds, she spoke about seeing a doctor that gave her a shot to help with her symptoms, but doesn't even know what the shot was.
So I stood up and kind of leaned against the gurney, and they injected me with a needle as long as the Sheikh Jabber Bridge, or as long as the Wall of China. Hi, creepy! Into my right and into my left upper buttock area. And whatever it was, I don't know.
Continuing her rage against Goral Whirl. Attention Goral World trash community. Karate Joe was never ever a part of my chat after he was doxxed and found out to be a registered SEX offender. But you know that there is a Goral World reactor who is still bedded up with a registered that offender. After knowing that he was one. Try again, bored morons. Also, to the idiot threatening to sue me, no one is going to issue a warrant for my arrest for saying something that is true about you, especially when all you do on your channel is talk crap about me and make up dumb theories that aren't true. I also won't be going to Canada for a few years at least, so good luck. Following it up with, oh, scam and blabber. So if you at Team YouTube suggesting they take down Original Owl's channel for talking about a mentally unstable woman, what do you think they should do with your Scissor Sisters channel for literally planning the funeral of someone suffering from mental illness, food addiction, and an ED? Maybe we should find out. Didn't Chantel, defend Karate Joe originally? Before finding out? Actually, even after finding out? In a similar sense that you know about Nada's past and still thought it was okay, because Naddy Daddy. As Chantel cannot leave posts up, all of which were archived. Yes, the internet is forever. She followed this up with Glow Up Arc step number 1. Never give energy and or attention to haters. Attempt 292,911 let's go bicep curl emoji. And then immediately followed it up with lol. Imagine raging every night to 5,000 people about the same person over and over and then saying, I'm big mad? Hey, I'd be too if this was me. You can make poop joked all you want, but the truth is some poop would actually improve how you look at this point, using a picture that has been used many a time. I guess there aren't many pictures of FFG for Chantel to use to really drive home those points that she thinks hold true. Or don't hold true, maybe hold true. It's not our place to judge here. We're just here to be a weak tea biographer. We're going to finish the month of January with a stream titled Just Chatting. I'm not going to play the whole bleeding thing. It involves her using avatar, right? And in truth, I'm not going to hate on anyone using cartoon imagery, but some of the things she says we should quickly talk about, like her sleeping arrangements.
Well, I'm on a firm mattress, and I've been on a firm mattress, and I've been trying to eat anti-inflammatory foods, really researching with my free time. I haven't been researching how to do these OBS streams and adding sources of media and stuff like that yet, because I've been really just focusing on anti-inflammatory foods, adding turmeric and black pepper to everything. So
no lie, that was the most interesting part of it. Somebody had parodied Chantel, and I do want to show a brief clip of that as well.
I need to open a restaurant. I make the best pot pie. Now, my pie crust is made with oil, not butter, not lard.
Just as a brief conclusion to the month of January, it was all over the place. It often is. She is desperately trying to give off the facade, the image that she is living her best life. She has removed Salah from the internet at this point. Well, he's holding the camera still when they go out, but his involvement is limited on purpose. She is in complete control at this point. She desperately wants to be the very thing she cannot be, some professional vlogger. Her health is getting worse, and she is very much still in denial about it. She lacks the commitment to ever get beyond one day, and her attempts to ignore those that criticize her, attack her, are fruitless. It has the same amount of commitment as her committing to a diet, minimal and reactive, giving up at the first opportunity to then clart back and be clarted at, because that is the nature of the community she created, a point I have made for years. You created this community. You need them, and now more than ever, since many of them make a lot more money than you do, and you know it. On to February, the month of Everyday Mariam, and the totally not bought and paid for subs. That might have been a troll, but might not have been a troll. For the month of February, Chantel starts the month as Foodie Beauty. She goes through a rebranding over the course of this month. There are a number of things that happen quite a lot because Chantel is all over the place. We know this, it's well established, it's why January was so stupidly long. Sorry about that. She begins the month by promoting her cameo, because we're entering the first few weeks of Love. It's the only time of year where you can express this and be romantic without feeling ashamed of it. And there's coin to be made, and Chantel is a natural instigator of Love, so she promotes her cameo. Chantel begins the month with a live stream. Here is the thumbnail for that live stream. The live stream is called
Late Night Bees.
Many have drawn issue with this thumbnail because it looks heavily photoshopped, mostly because of the area around her abdomen and the wall behind it, having some odd curvature to it, almost like she's trying to make her stomach seem flatter than it really is. But that is often the case what Chantel does If you only ever see her face on camera, she'll only ever put the filters on her face. If she's trying to clickbait you with a wheelchair as well because of the damage to her back, the sciatic nerve problem she has, she will put her entire body on it, but she'll make herself look a bit more attractive in her mind, when really what she's done is make herself look like a right-angled triangle with a pair of wheels. Owing to the fact that these live streams are far too difficult to go through, and with her content there is rarely a most replayed part of it, there is a Twitter account, DX, at Pete's of, well shit, who have reviewed the entire livestream, and they do it on a regular basis because many are seeking to boycott Chantel's content. According to DX, Chantel spends a lot of time sucking off your mama, hits her shisha, clicks on a mouse while claiming to be bedbound, which would imply she's at a desk and not her bed. Your mama also convinces Chantel to react to a reaction to FFG, so that gets watched as well. She also accuses FFG's fanbase of being scorned ex-Beezers that she blocked because they were ABUSIVE to her, and that she is a Z-list celebrity. She continues by then reacting to FFG's vlog. FFG privates the video. Chantel gets mad. She then puts a picture of FFG's side profile up on her stream, saying that she's being petty and does not care. And then she brings up Nada, all the while using a cartoon avatar to represent herself because she's bedbound, because of the sciatica. Oh, and Chantel didn't know how to live stream with an avatar image, and so the first 5 minutes of it was silent. I know this because when I did my research stream, that's what I had to put up with, and I realized and thought, well, that's not professional, is it now? This is how we begin the month, by the way. Chantel doing virtually no effort to try and drum up additional interest in her content, as Chantel is known for uploading a video and streaming in the same day. On this same day of being wheelchair and bedbound, Chantel put out a video called
A Shocking Weigh-In.
Within this, she gives us her brand new apparent weight. This one baffles all of us. There's no way it's true, no one believes it. Here it is.
So my last weigh-in was not a good one, if you remember. About 11 days ago or so, I did a video talking about my slip-ups, and if I recall, my weigh-in was somewhere in that video. I was back up to 165 kg. Now, as you can see, my weigh-in today, I weigh 155 kg, which is a huge drop. That's 341 pounds.
Nobody believes this because she looks bigger than she did when she was allegedly at her heaviest. On the 3rd, Chantel put out a community post. Hey guys, so it has come to my attention that every time I go live, there are people who stream snipe me. Sniping is just wrong, period. I'm not sure exactly what the recourse is, but I will find out for sure and will be going after those who do this. It is not my problem that you have no content otherwise. That doesn't give you the right to steal another creator's stream content. I will report it every day, long report and team YouTube as much as I can. Stream sniping is a crappy thing to do. In this, I agree with Chantel, although she has been known from time to time to snipe others, so leg to stand on is minimal, although she can't really stand at the moment anyway, can she? But the point still stands, stream sniping is a crappy thing to do, a practice that should be looked down upon, and is by many creators in multiple communities. On the same day, Chantel also celebrated an anniversary of her YouTube channel. She's been here for quite some time now at this point. She's been a creator for 10 years. On the 4th of February, Chantel puts out a video titled,
I've made a decision about my channel, ...
Liked, disliked, disabled, as is the case with most of her content. Within this, Chantel speaks about how she intends to remove herself from many discussions, no longer discuss key parts of her life. Basically, she just made a load of empty promises that she'll renege within moments. Relevant clip incoming.
Recently, I have decided to make my entire relationship private, and I really like this. So, I have decided to do the same for some other things in my life as well. I have decided to keep anything related to my health private. That includes anything related to my weight also. I will not be talking about anything health related at all.
It was believed that another person had lent on her to do this as a way of drawing attention away from the fact that her husband, air quotes around that word, likes scat. Now, Chantel has tried many things over the years to try and be something else. The problem she has is the only thing she's really known for is being a mukbanger and a failed weight loss journey channel. So whereas she has tried many different formats, many different communities, she's never been able to stick to it, commit to it, or succeed within that realm. A great example would be that couple's channel, the whole novel concept of vlogging and the fact that that surely cost her more than what she made from it. Well, she's also delving into gaming. In this, she played a bit of Phasmophobia.
What is that? Oh boy. The temperature. Ah! 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 Ah!
I didn't play the part where she was jump scared by her husband, nor did I play the part at the start of her stream where she had dead air for the first 10 minutes and doesn't actually know how to stream, which is quite impressive, or game for that matter. I earlier mentioned Chantel has tried multiple different types of content, failed at it, quit very quickly, and then gone back to what she normally does. We have a list. Makeup channel, failed. Weight loss channel, failed. Couples channel, failed. Reaction channel, failed. Now she's trying true crime, which is not a joke. She started doing true crime. A Canadian nightmare true crime podcast is what she dubbed it, where she instead, during that, spoke about one of the victims, laughed about them, and laughed about the guy that did the deed against the victim.
This is Candy. So, Candy was seen by this doctor, Dr. Schneeberger. Let's look at Dr. Schneeberger. Oh my gosh. Sorry, but he's a loser. Okay. So she was checked out by Dr. Schneeberger, and she was actually a patient of Dr. Schneeberger. So this Dr. Schneeberger, he was a, very well...
In true crime, I've noticed very few, if any at all, were willing to laugh even slightly at those they speak of in the subject matter because, let's be honest here, none of it is worth laughing at. Optics are not on Chantel's side. She also has a format that does not suit true crime. It's far too brightly coloured, far too static imaged. It doesn't suit the nature of that format to be successful, nor does she have the right voice for it either. On the 6th of February, after much Phasmophobia live streaming, none of which is worth showing here, but she does continue to prove she doesn't know how to game and rage at her chat for it, we get our first mukbang in the form of a Kuwaiti food mukbang. How exciting. Would anyone like to guess the one major food group that features across the board? She's being healthy, everyone, but she's not going to talk about her health, nor is she going to talk about her personal life or anything else that could be remotely useful, interesting, or get her views.
Yeah, so I'm doing a have dinner with me. I have a mystery box here. Let's see what's inside. Beauty bite. Yum. I cannot tell you how elated I am that I can sit here and do this video. Because, I don't even know, maybe 9 days or something. It was over a week, I think. There's no way. There's just no way I could do that.
YouTuber Mr. Snowflake had announced he was going to be doing a long-form documentary much like what he had done in the past on Amberlynn Reid, but this time on Chantel. Chantel did not take this kindly and responded briefly. She has since deleted that, but we have a copy of it, so some of her comments go as follows.
This video is going to be me addressing these dumb documentaries made about me. Well, they're not just about me. There are a lot made about other creators as well. I'm doing this because there's a channel that, just like the rest, picks on content creators they see as failures, I guess. And it's usually either Amberlynn or I. I find it weird that a grown man chooses to obsess over the lives of the two same women, basically beating a dead horse, but whatever.
Mr. Snowflake saw this before it was deleted, and he too responded to that.
Somebody called Foodie Beauty is kicked off about the opening credits thing I did. I've made videos about dozens of people.
A horse, but whatever. Speaking of beating dead horses, figuratively, not literally, of course, this new quote-unquote docu-series...
It is a docu, quote-unquote. Condescend much? Maybe I'll put that in the script And the Foodie Beauty could be very condescending. See how you like that?
Chantal also went back on one of her other promises, which she does all the time, to not address any of the haters in a reaction night live stream, which has also since been deleted. She's not very good at the whole keeping her word. When she makes a promise, it has about as much integrity as tissue that's come out of a toilet. To be honest, there's only one noteworthy quote from the entire deleted stream.
Allah, please bless huge ass Hugh. Please bless Hugh for good health.
Well, she did walk right into that one, didn't she?
Yeah, Doo-Doo. I see that you're flexing that you have him, but let me tell you. And she did a stupid community post that only 6 people liked, where it was like, you can keep your crap man, blah, blah, blah. At least my crap man doesn't lay a hand on me.
Now, Chantal did go on to apologise to Mr. Snowflake via this community post. It has since been deleted, though, because Chantal has her raging moments and decides impulsively to act rather than allow things to sit. Somewhat ironic, I guess. And on the subject of deleting things, Chantal put out a video titled,
I have no words for this.
On the thumbnail is a picture of FFG. Quote, she's jealous of this arrow disgusting human. It's a very short video, being made private. We have the video though, and feel it only right to share a part of it that is relevant to the point of that thumbnail.
Because that would make Foodie Beauty more human. Or maybe the fact that she claims that she suffered through domestic violence. And somebody who's had a past and seen recently doing that to another person, and people are like, yeah, but he did it to her, but he's not doing it to you. Here is, let's set an example of that. Here is FFG talking about that.
Obligatory fair use insertion here. Yes, Chantal, for her video, was citing your mama.
Gross how people don't believe my story, even though there's video evidence of him being an abuser on video.
The irony of saying, well, there's proof of him being abusive on video, and then, well, you doo-doo. Ma'am, there's no proof of him doing all to you on video. Those Sam's Bar Lounge videos is what I assume you're alluding to. They have nothing to do with you, and that really bothers you.
Those videos have nothing to do with you, and that bothers you. There's no video evidence of him doing that to you. He did it to her, but there's no video evidence of him doing that to you. This is the same person that said that she was being abused for 3 years by her lover. Remember that? She suffered through DV.
It was around this time, Chantal put out another mukbang titled,
I ate this every day and lost 10 kilograms.
She also rebranded. First, she rebranded to Mariam, or Mariam the Revert. And in a video underneath another mukbang, which we'll get to in a moment, she said, I wanted to add something. I changed my channel name mostly because I don't feel like Foodie Beauty anymore. I don't feel like Chantal. I feel like a new, different person, or like I am growing into a new person and a new chapter in my life. Time for a new me. Never have I seen so much concise bollocks in my entire life. And while we're here, of course, we should mention the Kuwaiti chicken bread bowl soup mukbang, whatever you want to call it, because there are so many carbs. I struggle to believe for a second that it's high sodium as a reason for you gaining weight, low sodium when you lose weight, when really it's far too many carbs on a day.
I'm almost 40, so I feel like I've grown up a little bit in that respect. So I feel like I've like calmed down and like toned down in that respect, which I guess is like officially becoming Muslim. You take an oath, and I did that. When I did that, you fill out a form, and they ask you if you want to change your name, like to a Muslim name, and I did, but I never like used it until now. Because I wanted to be married as a Muslim woman, officially. So I took my Shahada.
On the 10th of February, Chantal changed her channel name again, this time to Everyday Mariam. She did also change her handle, briefly, to Mariam Everday, because she doesn't know how to spell. Chantal also went through a delete spree of her content to keep in line with Everyday Mariam being who she is now, Mariam the Revert and all that. This spree came at the cost of all of her pre-hijab content, as if the internet isn't forever and most of us have it anyway, along with Google and various forums that have kept up to date with her shenanigans. In total, Chantal removed over 250 videos from her channel. She is well known for doing this from time to time anyway, so you can surmise that they're mostly privated but also well known to be archived anyway. Somebody has since gone on to grab her handle, the Foodie B one that is, a channel called Woof Woof. Chantel's often deleted community posts don't get enough love in this month at the moment, so I feel it only right to insert two. The first explaining why she would not change her cameo name, because personal videos from Foodie Beauty. The second, you know why the opinions of certain people on this platform don't matter? Because it's ridiculous that I got raked through the coals for the whole coal, never meant to be racist as coal's the opposite of gold, but anyway, sorry, Abbey way, incident, but now members of Ghoul World can openly change our religious names to marry ham and salad when they know ham is haram for Muslims and many Muslims will be offended, not just me. You are insulting an entire religion, but hey, you are the ones looking ignorant and phobic. Goblin is a mythical creature and the mention of anything anti-Semitic about the word doesn't even come up on Wikipedia. Has nothing to do with religion. Oh, but since the ogress likes to make calendars with the same 3 pics of BBJ, rest in peace, here's a picture of Julia in a keffiyeh. Is that the word? On the 10th of February 2024, Chantel put out another very healthy mukbang titled
Egyptian food mukbang kosheri and mahalabia.
I should probably learn to pronounce these words before I put on that voice. The funny thing about this mukbang, like all the others, is that yet again Chantel is not really eating anything remotely healthy. There's virtually no fibre in anything she ate, minimal complex protein, no vegetables, purely refined carbs and added sugars. Taking all the health advice she gets from doctors along with any diagnosis for any health problem she has about as seriously as Superman does take a threat of being Rochambeaued.
Let's open this. So those of you who don't know, koshery is like a carb hater's nightmare. There is chickpeas, pasta, they had put brown rice, lentils, vermicelli. You see that underneath. And you put a tomato sauce on it.
Essentially, it's the less poor man but somewhat poor man's version of spaghetti. That's what it is, but bastardized and ruined by many other things. Now the portion size is monstrous. The sausage sandwich on the side is hardly a shocker, you do like your Sammies. This is, for you, one of the worst things you could be eating right now. You need to reduce your carbs to help you. Not that you'll ever bloody well listen. Your comments have been telling you this for months, and they do it in the comments to this very video in fact. We haven't seen or heard much in the way of Salah featuring in the content of Chantel. This is keeping in line with Chantel wanting to limit his exposure, not least because it is never going to blow over his interest in flatulence and the number 2. So during one of Chantel's Phasmophobia live streams, she put a picture on screen indicating that Salah was out with friends at a barbecue. However, Mo Translates, who had at this point recently resurfaced into the online space, hi by the way Mo, we love, flipped the image and realised, no, that's takeout. She lie. Hardly a surprise Chantel would do that. With others pointing to this picture as well of the carpet in Chantel's apartment, matching that of the carpet in the barbecue picture. The internet is weaponized. I like this. Chantel also posted to her community tab more discussion around Hamas and Israel. For the sake of this, we are not going to talk about the subject as a whole, but I am going to put on the screen, or is already on the screen, the community post in question. Basically, she is boycotting the Super Bowl and blaming propaganda because of ads from the Super Bowl. In a live stream titled Good Morning, which we're not going to play, don't worry, it would take far too long, Chantel does actually bemoan the fact that someone has taken her handle. For 2 reasons. One, because she's noticed her views are dipping since changing to Everyday Mariam, and that she can't change for another 14 days. The second is because she doesn't care. It's her old handle, and she has many handles, and that she's the OG Foodie P. She really is committed to the delusion. She does also state that she and Salah are stronger than ever, because Salah doesn't have a 9-to-5 schedule, he works his own. He's immersed himself into his work, and that they have been through a lot of healing. If you're retching at this point, it's totally understandable. So let's do something that won't make you retch in the slightest.
Sushi and chit-chat about losing friends.
Mukbang, one of those two. Yay.
Okay, so this is my favorite sushi. Let's talk some smack. No, I'm kidding. I'm not talking smack. But
While scoffing down her food at an alarming rate, she does also speak about friendships in the past and how she escaped certain types of ABUSIVE relationships. This no doubt to try and bring back to the surface her position as an authority on a subject that many do not believe to be the case. Many within Ghoul world, as she calls them. On Chantel's community tab, she received a message from somebody and she posted their email address and the message they sent her. It's not a very nice message, I will admit. I don't think it right to share the details of the person though at the same time. After all, it did go straight to spam. I mean, you didn't need to, but free content, am I right? On her Mariam the Reaver TikTok, she has been more politically active. In those videos, she speaks in a way that can be regarded on a subject matter that is quite serious at this point, in a manner that is condescending, patronizing, demeaning, and downplaying the severity on both sides of this problem.
In the comfort of their homes, more Palestinians were being up in Rafah, a refugee camp where Palestinians were told to escape to and seek refuge in, and it's being attacked by Israel forces right now.
I know the TikTok post was a bit of a segue or a distraction. We should go back to community posts for a second because Chantel continues to talk about goblins by suggesting that perhaps then we should cancel David Melling for writing books aimed at children about goblins. This then led to a live stream that has since been deleted titled
Let's Educate the Ignorant.
This live stream was then shared to Twitter by Stuff K Said, the full stream that is. Essentially, it can be boiled down to, while she was researching, finding out that the word goblin does have anti-Semitic connotations but doesn't care and won't apologise, and that FFG and others who are Jewish can eat poop. That taken from Chicken Pickle's Twitter account. This is February the 14th. As you can tell, it is naturally a day of love. So much so that Chantel is devoting far too much time to those critical of her and not spending enough time with her husband, something which in a community post she does speak about. Quote, her husband is out at 2 a.m. Yuck, yuck, yuck. He didn't go out at 2 a.m. He left at 11 p.m. I said in my live stream he was out at some place. All of you accusing him of something shady are so culturally ignorant it's unreal. Women do not socialise with men. Basically, Salah has a life. Imagine my shock. Pictures of Chantal's hand then started to do their rounds again. Now the reason why is because as you can see here, it looks like her finger is poking out of another finger. It is such a mess where that ring sits that it doesn't look natural. To an untrained eye, it would look like a photo shoot. In reality, this is actually her hand, and she has done nothing to improve the situation. Now this is where things start to get a bit hinky on the subscriber count of Chantel. For years, she has struggled to grow her channel consistently. And then in one night, one spicy Italian sub mukbang, one live stream, she goes up 800 subs overnight. Very sus. From 98.1 to 98.9. As somebody that has earned their play button, I saw this and thought, okay, they were bought and paid for. There's no version of this where they weren't, because your viewer count did not go up to match your subscriber count increase, which is what usually happens. This spoken from a position of experience. After close to a decade on YouTube, if I gain 1,000 subs in a month, my viewership is going up a significant amount in that month. Chantel's did not, which led me to believe that she was getting closer and closer to getting 100,000 subs so she could justify, she could celebrate everyday Mariam making it on YouTube. Her livestream numbers throughout the month didn't increase either. She was averaging 400 viewers, something which she did address.
I don't care. Like, you're gonna apologize for something you didn't consciously, like, know about? Like, that's so stupid. No, I don't care. People can be snowflakes, people can be offended, you can cancel me, you can unfollow me. I never care. I don't care. I don't even look at how many subscribers I have. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna live my life. That's my opinion. It's not anti-Semitic for me. It's a mythical creature, and too bad. Whatever. I don't care.
Much like last year, much like areas of this year, the conversations and arguments between that of Chantel and French Fried Girl are going to continue. This time, Chantel saying Lamal, this weirdo, has literally no content or anything to talk about except freezer burnt veggies. I made this days ago, not on Valentine's Day. Anyway, nothing says I love you like spending Valentine's Day at Shannon's talking about me like you did last year, right? I believe this would be FFG, following it up with
FFG exposed again.
In this, we have DC Media Girl. It's a short video. Rather annoyingly, I would want to play a clip of this for you, but the video is not on her channel and nobody tweeted the video out. Or if they did, I didn't see it quick enough to add it to my list of sources. My apologies for that. Basically, DC Media Girl runs defense for Chantel justifying the use of the word goblin, to which Eerie Pepperoni said, imagine going to someone who is Jewish to ask permission to call another Jewish person a goblin. If that doesn't scream anti-Semite, I don't know what does. Very credible source, Salah poop on her already, she is insufferable. I agree with the first comment underneath. Haram! In another deleted community post, Chantel says, well, this tweet is spot on. Also, FFG's entire vocabulary: pig mad, animal ABUSER, poop eater, BBJ calendar, lumberjack, caunt, salad, marry ham, and a gross witch's cackle. Queen of deflection. What does a tweet even have to do with being called out for being a hypocrite? Lol. What did you do for V-Day?
FFG.
Oh right, made a couple of hours of reacting to my freezer burnt veggies. How sweet that I'm always on your mind. Anyway, only one eating poop is your audience who grabs their spoons ready to eat this deflection or lies you spew every time you open your mouth. Eventually, Salah did partially make a reappearance in a livestream that ended quite abruptly, no doubt because the reaction to him reappearing wasn't what Chantel wanted.
Big man.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you. Just put him here, yeah.
Here's how we want to say hi.
Is he awake? Big man.
I think so.
I'm gonna take him out of the cage.
I'll take Julie with me.
Okay. Big man.
Now, a day after Chantel put out a video showing this, where she was clearly having issues walking, which had a number of people concerned for the fate of her leg, Chantel did a mukbang the following day. Spicy chicken pizza mukbang, whatever it's bloody called. I'm going to say mukbang going forward, it's just easier, isn't it? Oh, that's mukbang, isn't it? You know what, it doesn't matter what it is. Nothing reeks of looking after oneself more than not looking after oneself, especially when the warning signs are very much present. Like in this picture where she rests her abdomen, let's call it that, or part of it at least, on top of a ledge. How adorable. Here's some mukbang for you.
Diet soda. So, I think it's been like 3 months maybe since I've had pizza. Long time.
It's impressive when there's more carbs on offer, how much more time she'll take chewing it, as opposed to other meals where she will swallow it whole if possible. She and a TikToker called Bevo have a lot in common. They will try to get it down as quick as possible because you know the rules.
Chicken ball. Do it in one go. Decent chicken ball, to be honest.
In that same Eat With Me video, Chantel uses her hands to get pickles out of a jar. This has led many to believe, although to be honest, it just adds to the evidence, that Chantel does not live with Salah, and that the only reason Salah had made a brief appearance, audio-wise, was because YouTube Payday was coming up. Nada used to do the same thing, as pointed out here by Mo Translates.
That was not even filling. That's not good. It was too thin. It was like eating a big pita.
6 out of 10.
Chantel posted to her community tab one of FFG's tweets. In the tweet it says, "Hold up, I ate poop for months because I did everything I could for my dogs, and this idiot is really giving ass pats to a goblin for abandoning 2 healthy dogs." And then also talking about Nicole, I don't know who that is, and a lot of that is, as you can see, not visible. Chantel posted this by saying, "I was sent this, look at what the hater tater unearthed. FFG calling DC Media Girl a goblin. DC Media Girl is Jewish, so next time FFG and the zombies want to call me anti-Semitic, please come back here every time and have a look. That being said, I'm not using that word anymore. Also, FFG, why condemn DC for her dog situation when you unalived your healthy dog for having anxiety?" This led to a number of people tweeting at YouTube and AdSense for allowing Chantel to be able to monetize anything she does on the platform. On the 16th and 17th of February, there was a conspiracy going around because Chantel has been posting different pictures of who she claims to be a hamster Howie, but the hamster does not look the same, so it has led to the belief that the newer hamster is Howie number 2. Justice for Howie, everyone.
To Beth, that stupid rat. No. He got himself stuck in a box today.
Because Chantel is a frequenter of the hot water, in her chat of a live stream, somebody decided to post full name and address of Just Breezing and her daughter, her sister, and I believe her son, or the sister's son. Chantel said, "I don't know how you know all that, but ... and then proceeds to laugh. She didn't remove it, she kept it there, and that's not a good look." This led to many @Teen YouTube being like, "Fam, this is a breach of TOS," and it is a breach of TOS for the user who posted the comment. I will concede Chantel should have deleted that comment and possibly even banned that person from her chat to prevent it happening again. Chantel's hate boner for Just Breezing, for FFG, for the YouTube Underground, for many creators within what she calls Ghoul World is astonishing, especially because she has gone out of her way to flag many of them on a regular basis, something that we'll talk about more in March.
I kind of got like a second win.
To explain why Salah has not been around as much of late, Chantel on a live stream was talking about love and life and all her usual bollocks. Salah was in the chat where he said, "I can't hold my mobile right now, I can't feel my body from the anesthesia." He had confirmed he had gallbladder surgery, apparently. He also misses Chantel. Now, some did point out that while you are under general anesthesia, the discomfort is very much local. So what would be the point of these messages in her live stream chat? Because it just adds to a conspiracy he's not around because he doesn't want to be around, as opposed to him apparently having gallbladder surgery. Personally, I do not believe he had gallbladder surgery in the slightest. This is further supported by Mo Translates, who bothered to go and look up an article, a Kuwait news article, that shows that gallbladder surgery takes less than an hour, the patient goes home the same day. So either Salah is lying to Chantal about where he is, or he doesn't live with her. I'm inclined to believe that she's the one telling the lie, and he doesn't live with her. While she's busy also deleting more views, which she did to the tune of 57,000, Chantel's views ever since rebranding and committing to Everyday Mariam have continued to go down. Consistently go down. To the point, at the tail end of the month, her live stream after an hour only had 160 views. She claims she does not care about the views or the money, as long as she has or hits her baseline, she's okay. But in this, her baseline of at least 1,500 views isn't enough, because she's quite short of it actually. Which isn't good, really, is it, Chantel?
I have a lot more cooking coming up, so stay tuned. Sorry.
Everyday Mariam began the month at 98.1 thousand subscribers. On the 21st of February, she had moved up to 99.2. Within the space of 2 days, as you see from this social blade, she had purchased 300 subs, claiming that she wasn't buying them, by the way. although it was later posited that she had said, although I don't know if I have the clip or not, that Salah had been testing things, and that's where they came from. This ultimately culminating on the 26th of February with Chantel finally hitting 100,000 subscribers, before dipping down briefly to then go back up again. The way the system works is once you hit 100,000, your channel is then verified. All your subscribers are validated. In the past, it was done with a level of integrity. In this case, no. But that is a discussion for March. And no, I'm not going to congratulate you, Chantel, for buying your way to 100,000. At least Amber Lynn earned it. And many of your detractors did too. I earned it.
And like I said, it's not from a sub for sub thing to be 100K, because I literally didn't get very many subs from that. If you look at how many subs watch these other channels, it's not thousands, you know. So yeah, I just thought it would be interesting to, you know, just try to branch out a little bit, you know, and get people from all over the world would be nice, but I don't know. Yep. People are stuck in the past because that's where they made their big coin off of my life, right? You know, like people want a train wreck. People, that's what they want. And it's like, that's just not my life anymore, you know? It's boring and I like that. It's peaceful. And
on the 26th of February, Mr. Snowflake published his first documentary video on Chantel, titled The Shattered Reality of Foodie Beauty, Episode 1. On the same day, Chantel did a live response, titled Addressing Another Biased Documentary About My Past, ... later retitled to Mr. Cardigan, ...
So that's my defense of it. I think it's just BS. I knew it would be BS, and I was like, let me just see, because people say he's fair, he's a good documentary person. He's just a glorified hater. That's all he is. Trying to be white soft white underbelly. You know? Like, please. Stop picking on the same two friggin' fat women on the internet. You don't like watching people stuff their face, then why are you making a 6-hour documentary about it, about my old story times?
Yeah, you're looking over $1,000. Oh, well that, like, she's just like hopping to another country, from what I understand. Like when she was here, there was like one time we hung out, she also, stopped in at my mom's, and she explained to my mom that like she pops over to Saudi Arabia, but basically she just pops across the border for a couple days while her visa renews.
There is no way Chantel took that well. Now, to move on from that, we have to go back to the subgrowth via her community post. So just as I suspected it would happen, I'm losing subscribers quickly. She went on to talk about how she checked Salah's bank and it was not him and it was not her, and that of course you can believe her or not. And that people bought them for her so she'd get excited about reaching 100k and then take them away to get content out of that. Also talking about TOS, violation aspect, and that the sub for something was her trying to support smaller channels who probably unsubscribed from her because of the harassment they received. Your cope is quite something. If it were an edible, it would probably be stuffed in your face somewhere with the rest of the carbs. Chantel later put out a community post. Alright, so I couldn't find the conversation copy in my email, maybe I forgot to request it, I don't know what happened. So I just contacted YouTube Creator Help and they confirmed that I did reach out to them, concerned that someone may be bought me subs. The minute I saw my subs going up rapidly. Why would I tell on myself if it was me? Anyway, here's the recent conversation. Included is an image of the conversation with someone called Nessa and Foodie Beauty. Many do speculate on Twitter what would happen to Chantel if she continued to grow sub-wise this way, whether she would get verified or not. It isn't until March we get an answer to that. But it was noticed that Salah had been using the couples channel to mod, and the sub growth to sub loss part was quite a lot, and then it disappeared very quickly, hoping no one would notice, I would assume. But then this is the internet and a community that will pay close attention to any and all movement. The month finishes with 2 live streams, one titled Addressing Pete's, the second originally titled Girl World Reaction, later retitled The Hate Community of YouTube. My guess is she desperately wants to finish the month strong to make sure she got paid reasonably well when payday comes back around in March. The thing with the Pete's commentary you provide in your hour-and-a-half long stream response is that it's become a big deal because you continually tell everyone it's not anymore a tourist visa, but it has to be based on Kuwait law. You are not fluent in Arabic, you have not been in the country long enough, you don't meet the criteria, even married, to qualify. Yes, you've converted, allegedly converted, but the reality is you still don't qualify in any other area. It's become a big deal because you keep lying about it. And you addressing the hate community to end the month is definitely done just to drum up additional views on the final day of the month so that you can get as much out of this extra day of the month as you can. It's why you streamed twice in the same day. Although it should be noted, to address Pete's, you are on camera. To address the hate community, you use a cartoon. I should probably end this month by also pointing out Chantel has made a new Twitch, Mariam related one. Whether she commits to that, no one cares. But it's done solely so she can move her gaming over there. I think she learnt her lesson from the view dipping on YouTube, although I should point out, game streams on YouTube generally don't do that well in the first place, and you were getting relatively good views for somebody who doesn't even know how to play Phasmophobia. To summarise this month, it is filled with multiple levels and layers of lies. Something which she has committed to and refuses to back down from. She is continually engaging with those that criticise her on a regular basis, which means they have fuel because she is giving them that. She is refusing to back down on any of her deceptive ways. She's refusing to change her habits, so she will never truly be able to get back on the mend. Although whenever she tries to be on the mend, she lasts one day by crashing it, on purpose self-sabotaging. I can't see this improving in March, and there are many things we need to talk about in March. After the rip-roaringly successful month of February 2024, where Chantel achieved her dreams and finally hit 100,000 totally legitimately and not bought and paid for, Chantel began the month as she ended it by doing the exact same thing over and over again. But we are, instead of going to March the 1st, going to go to March the 4th. The reason why is because during an Applebee's mukbang, Chantel said a few things of interest concerning her state of mind.
Hello guys, assalamu alaikum. I have no energy today. So, I ordered Applebee's. I've been sleeping all day. My depression is out of control.
Now, the issue with what Chantel is saying, as you can tell from what you've heard so far, is yes, of course, mental health is very serious, but this cycle was guaranteed to come back. Because Chantel hasn't been back in Kuwait that long because she was in Canada for less than a month before flying back again. So her not being at her happiest or being depressed is entirely because she didn't actually go and do the very thing she went to Canada to do, because she would rather play optics and live vicariously through the lives of those that criticize her, which is her entire existence. So desperate to stick it to those that make more money on her than she does herself on her own content, she would put her health as a tertiary existence, her mental health and physical health as tertiary, to the secondary that are the haters that she loves to watch. We'll get to some of that soon, don't worry. And of course the primary, which is her gluttony, where in every mukbang she'll show off another different dish that she has acquired to try and make it seem like her show is all about that variety of food, as opposed to what it really is, and that is a vast amount of food.
And I got... Oh. They don't even put the name brand on the bag. Applebee's. I got Applebee's. Wait. Where's my soup? What's this? What did I order?
So Chantel putting out the idea, possibly considering going back to Canada, is hardly a surprise.
I'm guessing. So, as you can tell from the title, or from the thumbnail, I have a huge announcement. I am pretty sure that I'm going back to Canada.
Seriously, how much food have you got? Ew. Now, the next day, Chantal again produced another mukbang. This one was premiered. This one was local cuisine, cheese and cream tawi, falafel, hummus, chicken fillet, sandwiches, and loads of other things, breads that she had hidden to the side. She's looking a bit puffy in this one, has anyone noticed?
I think I confused people even more with this video.
Chantal is still giving thought to the idea of going back to Canada. She should have stayed there in the first place. She should have never gone back to Kuwait. It is far too expensive, and Chantal is no way making enough money to keep doing this. This quite frankly laughable attempt at trying to seem like she is something better than all those haters of the world, when in reality, she's worse than them. She really is. Her impulse, her poison, her toxicity, more than anything else she does to herself. And then because she lives through the lives of those that comment on her, she spends far too much time absorbing that negativity. You're not Superman and the solar rays. It doesn't make you stronger. This is effectively, if you're Superman in this metaphor, you're kryptonite. Or because of the nature of this community as a whole, a red solar hand grenade.
Alright. I love falafel with pickle. So,
if you were an eagle-eyed viewer and you watched that mukbang, you may have noticed that she ran out of falafels very quickly, but had a secret stash under the table, so she had plenty of extra material to work with to make the video even longer. But you may have also noticed from some of the clips I've played, she spent a very long time in these videos saying absolutely nothing. Considering you have plenty of time to edit these down a bit, I'm very impressed that you managed to noise reduce the audio so there was less background noise and less breathing on your part, but you couldn't be asked to just cut it out entirely.
I'm going to continue to work on myself, try to seek help here, you know. So I mean, Salah's insisting I don't have to worry about, you know, the monetary side of the healthcare. So I'll just trust in him on that.
While we're mentioning Salah, because obviously he's such a strong, supportive, individual man, it is right now to mention the fact that he has been regularly in her stream chats at this point, deleting every opportunity he has any dissenting opinion. Now on the screen are images taken from two Twitter users, FBI Kitty1 and Two-Tailed Caperer. Anytime, any comment that remotely questioned Chantal's commitment to her family back in Canada, or brought into question her decisions in Kuwait, Salah was on it. This did lead to much in the way of criticism aimed at Salah and Chantal as to why he wasn't even in the same room as her instead, which in turn would make her streams more interesting. Well, interesting is a subjective term, perhaps more dead air and awkwardness, because the chemistry that those two possess is so real, it can be closely considered equal to that of a ribeye steak derived from a Care Bear's body. As some of you may well have known, from Sunday the 10th of March to Tuesday the 9th of April 2024, it was the month of Ramadan. Chantal, of course, has an opportunity here to, as a Muslim revert, showcase her devotion to her God and her faith, but also to make content, which includes showing us that kind of content. But first on the agenda, of course, is food shopping.
Alright guys, so I'm gonna start this grocery haul. This is a huge stock up for Ramadan. Alright, so this is round one of this haul stuff, and I'm not looking forward to organizing it and putting it away. Have some eggs.
Now Chantal for a while has been telling us she only weighs 352 pounds, or 160 kilograms. Courtesy of Flashing Pondu, we have an image of Chantal claiming she weighed 375 in one picture, and that now, 4, 5, 6 years removed, she weighs less and yet she looks bigger. Granted, the clothing is not flattering, but I don't believe anyone for a second believes that she weighs less now. Early on in this month, Chantal also got verified by YouTube, meaning that she now has the check mark next to her name, verifying the account did hit 100,000 subscribers. This, as far as I am concerned, is a mockery of the system, one that many of us worked hard to get to. I say this because Chantal's channel had been stagnant for years and then slowly over a period of 5 months gained a steady increase of subs, but her viewership did not go up to match it. We also know Chantal was definitely buying subs because on the Chantal Salah YouTube couples channel they had, which was just a tourist brochure light akin to that of a TikTok shop, a monstrous amount of subs had been purchased for the channel and then removed. That was, for those who don't know, covered, I believe, earlier this year. Now, in between Chantal promoting her membership by offering a first month free, getting virtually no one turning up to her live premiere chat things, Chantal has also been deleting content. One such piece of content is called Showing You the Qibla Direction Live. And since we have that, I'm going to play the part that matters and then some random bants from Chantal.
And this is the Quran Pro. It shows me my prayer times, all this and that. All right. So lie number 1 dispelled. Lie number 2 here. This little thing here. This is the this will show you. This is the Kaaba. Okay, the Holy Kaaba. This will show you the direction of prayer. So as you can see in my video where I was praying here. Okay. You see that?
Does anyone think for a second that perhaps she should lay the phone flat before she turns? I don't think she knows how a compass works. On to the bants though.
Yeah, ever since you reverted, this community suddenly became Islamic scholars. Kind of like how you're making a big deal how you cut your chicken, right? Like somebody who sleeps with a child or a offender, I swear, if somebody bought me a plane ticket today, I would go next week to Canada just to sue the crappy stale leggings off of them. I would, 100%.
Chantal is all mouth, no trousers. And what I mean by that is, she's all bark, no bite, because in real life she just laughs. Her bite, the only bite she possesses, comes in the form of striking virtually any of her detractors, which then raises my earlier comment again of, you live your life through those that criticize you living your life through them. You're also quite jealous of the fact that many of them are able to make reasonable incomes from your content, from you, all the while you struggle because you're paying out phenomenal fees for your constant traveling to Kuwait, your tourist visa, and all the other nonsense you're having to pay for while you're slowly but surely degrading your health even further, which at this point is beneath tertiary, which makes sod all sense.
Lavi, couple channel, please.
Oh, couple channel. Maybe.
Maybe when we get more healthy?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a month in any year, any week in fact, without Chantal saying something that can be interpreted as quite vile. Exhibit A, making fun of an elderly person versus your prostitute adult daughters is not the same, vile witch. Now this is a reference to Sam and Yaba, because I believe Sam's daughter works in a stripper place, dancing place, right? This is where I now insert a response from Chantal concerning your mama, as I don't want to get too sucked into that drama, mostly because I can't succinctly cover it in a short enough time to continue this month.
So just to preface, I was listening to another stream. Well, I like to listen to streams when I do chores, and, number 1, Samantha herself is the one who's bragged about her kids working in a brothel.
Al streamed last night talking about the disgusting things that Sam was saying about Gigi's mother, who is got dementia, and Sam wanted to call her pickle brain. Exactly. Sam deleted the video.
With Chantal demonstrating some of the most pointlessly pathetic, pedantic traits of a person, it is quite frustrating that she has chosen a hill to die on in this, in that this is not her child.
Susan, her children are not children, Susan.
But that is how literally every parent speaks of their child, adult or not. My parents still do it, my dad that is, and I'm sure many others' parents do. In fact, I'd argue all of them do it, because you are the senior, therefore they are the junior is the child, even when they have children themselves. But Chantal's picked a rather interesting point to hyper-focus on.
Adult, they're not children, okay? Adult daughter.
It's the wrong one, instead of the part where she is ignoring your mama's valid point about engaging with these people, to focus on that instead.
Foodie Beauty, when are you gonna stop?
Stop what? Defending myself?
That's a real honest question. See, you're not helping. When everyone talks about making this space a better place, right? And then when people talk about how they pile on you and they talk about you, and then when people...
They're never gonna stop. That's when you don't get it.
Because she lives through them. She needs them as much as they need her. On the 15th of March 2024, in further validation of her success as a YouTube content creator, Everyday Mariam received the vaunted silver YouTube play button. Now, I take issue with this for a number of reasons. Firstly, the letter is clearly fake. The paper is inferior quality, we know this. Second, the play button looked a bit too pristine. It is a brushed metal that you can feel the grooves on. I also took issue with the fact that she put Everyday Mariam on it when it was not that drew them to the channel, the subs and the bought ones. Additionally, Chantal managed to get her play button at a ridiculously expedited rate. Her channel was verified on the 8th of March. It takes 2 to 3 weeks to ship a play button. She got her play button 8 days later. When I did this, it took nearly 2 months. I do not believe for a second this is the real deal. I believe, like everyone else, she bought it off of eBay. This, compounding with the verification of the account, is further proof of how much of a mockery she makes of the system. It should be noted, while she made some rather cringy little commentary about her success as a YouTuber in a video form, while showing off the play button where it looked incredibly blurry because the filter was working overtime and it couldn't focus on the play button itself. This play button barely features anymore in the future, and that's because Chantal changed at some point in this month, and I believe sought out perhaps acquiring a replacement, a real one, more money being wasted just to validate an existence of undeserved.
Whoa, ow! I just... I just, before going live, took this out of the dryer.
Oh, and while we're in the ballpark of Chantal knowing about the play button being a bit fake, she did say something in relation to getting a replacement.
You think you can buy a new one? Oh yeah, you can buy a different one. I think so, yeah. I don't know how much it is, but... color. Yeah, but the silver plaque is, oh, you mean like the ones... Why would you want to buy one if you didn't earn it?
As is well known, Chantal is a mad lyricist, a songmeister without equal. With that in mind, we go to a CPAP rap.
Well, I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. I've been more places than you, but you act like you don't care. This machine has definitely seen hotel walls that weren't very clean. I've had my nose removed in Gatineau, but that was years ago, though. Since then, I've been to Windsor, Ontario. Visiting Carly Steele, it was a cool scenario. Then I got dragged to a Cuba resort. My owner raged about relish or something of the sort. Now stamp that in my passport.
Many pointed out that this song was released during Ramadan prayer time, which seemed a bit unusual for somebody who was so adamant they were adhering to their religious practices. At the same time, I don't think anyone believes she was for a second. Personally, I think she's using it as a weak-tea attempt at a shield. Chantal is not done with her creativity. Chantal also wanted you to hear some of the absolutely resplendent tone and lyrical quality from an a cappella cover. And as is the rule of the internet, if one of us has to listen to it, the rest of you do too.
Last night I dreamt of San Pedro, just like I'd never gone. I knew the song, young girl with eyes like the desert. It all seems like yesterday, not far away.
You're all welcome. These are valid points of criticism I would like to now raise before we continue with the month of March. Firstly, in the second song you use a lot of reverb and auto-tune. You don't need to. Purchase a pitch pipe, learn to balance your notes, and I'm sure you'll be fine. Also, your breathing was out of sync, which is why you struggle. Second, to the CPAP rap. If you're writing these words down, you are not giving them anywhere near as much thought, lyrically, as you do your community posts, where you absolutely let rip. If you had the potential to write something with the emotion in mind with the rap intention, you will find you can actually make something better. You're welcome. So now let's move on. I forgot to include this earlier. Chantal has been doing her cameos. It generates extra income for her, which she undoubtedly needs for her tourist visas. We have one of them, and I thought I'd share a part of that with you now.
Hello, Jen. I have a very special message for you from Jess. Hi, Pids. Waba, how about you? Chew, waba, he. My cat's like, what? So apparently you guys are twins, Jen and Jess. That's so cool. Mashallah. And you have a special language. So, yeah, that's really interesting.
Also, Chantal thinks she's cute and you need to suffer this video as well.
A lemonade, all right. And then can I also have barbecue sauce? Or do you have like a buffalo sauce? No Chick-fil-A sauce?
I should probably insert Chantal did more songs. I'm just not going to play them as I think you've suffered quite enough for 1 month. Instead, we're going to look at another video of Chantal out and about. Because in it, Chantal has an umbrella, she's walking, clearly laboured, one leg not doing as well as the other. She's looking bigger than usual no matter how hard the cameraman is working to try and make it seem like perhaps she's not as horizontally gifted as she would appear. She's also choosing some rather weird spots to record. For example, surrounded by buses. I know she's desperately trying to show us all the different areas of Kuwait, but you don't need to reduce it down to the lowest common denominator.
Right now I'm gonna break the fast with a date or a camera and some water. First bite.
Being a revert means Chantal is aware, she's in tune with, connected to the hive mind of other reverts, and she has opinions on this. Opinions that need to be front and center because she's a good revert.
One thing I noticed since becoming a revert, the community can be very judgmental. Islam police, like, just commenting on like makeup, like, you know, you shouldn't be saying this, you shouldn't be smoking shisha, you know, you should be eating with the left hand. Like, let people observe their religion, worship how they want to, and like at their own pace. It's not...
A small part of me wonders if she thinks she's actually a part of a community, or whether or not she's simply just trying to dunk on those that are reverts as well, but are not as revert as she is.
Up to somebody to judge someone. That's between them and Allah. It's not between me and other sisters and brothers. It's between me and Allah, okay?
When someone had pointed out to Chantal that during this month of Ramadan that she was wrong to be putting out Madonna songs instead of praying and doing her usual fasting that she didn't do anyway, Chantal responded by saying the following.
Someone said because I made a cover of Madonna during Ramadan that I deserve biblical punishment. You're ruining my life.
As you can tell, Chantal took that very seriously. I have no real opinion on this, so do forgive me if I don't endorse the idea of stoning her. In one of many deleted online streams for the month of March, Chantal got very cross because Mr. Snowflake put out episode 2. Chantal did not like this. Chantal rage-pigged about it. But Chantal deleted it before I could get to it, and I'm very sorry about that. Instead, we're going to go to Chantal getting a strike. Because she did. She got a strike from YouTube for this community post. Chantal has a track record when it comes to those who are not white, of saying something that could in some way be seen as racist. Her past, her track record, her actions do her no favours, and so for the final month of March, Chantal was kind of not about, but there is still some content to go through, some community posts and other bits and bobs. Firstly, via this report page, we have managed to work out that the not normal is the community post. While listed as a video, it is not a video. For Chantal's community tab, hey, 12 Chins of Thunder, you know what's embarrassing? Making a post making fun of Nals looks when you are still 10 times more homely. The nerve, hey Blabber and Scam, that's Yaba and Sam, imagine just getting happily married and going back to talking about me shopping at a mall whilst hiding your fat that behind childish avatars. Human trash. This is how you are stuck supporting your poor children. I say poor children because they're bully trash for parents. You say children now. Interesting. Continuing on others, for example, these 3 streams were deleted. Chantal had deleted about 16 to 18 videos and a bunch of lives, so her video total had gone down significantly. And she did address this by saying, I deleted my posts. Know why? Because I actually feel guilt when I lower myself to that level. I have no idea and will never understand this, how these people whom I call out can use their platforms to say and do the most vile things daily and not feel any guilt or not realize how bad this makes them look. Worse than those they criticize, actually. Oh well, guess I'm not meant to understand. I'm meant to stay focused on my life. I will try harder to do that. It's so hard when all you want to do is defend yourself. She also started deleting social media platforms. Isn't her Twitch gone now? She's also changed her channel name back to Foodie Beauty and her profile picture as well. This scorched earth and reverting back to the good old days had people wonder what was happening behind the scenes. Along with changing the channel name, the channel description about page section is also different. The TikTok page has been deleted at this point. Foodie Beauty also edited a profile picture to remove the ring from her finger, and this led to people believing she and Salah at this point were breaking up. She also continued to delete videos. More and more of her content started to vanish. She also updated the couple's channel and the location, which showed Canada. Owing to the strike, Chantal's month ended abruptly, but April does begin in a newer area. Something different has happened, so I guess that's where we're going to have to go next. But I will summarize this month by saying the following. Chantal is still living through the lens of everyone else talking about her. She needs that for her views, because whereas in the past she could have ignored it and just made her content, and the community she created would never have come to be, she needs them now more than ever, especially as she yet again is traveling. She made no discernible progress on her health. In fact, it got worse, which is why April begins the way it begins. Chantal made no discernible effort to be a better person, while during the month of Ramadan, she continued to act like she was above everyone while crapping on literally anyone who was Muslim revert or those criticizing her for not adhering to the rules of it. Her hypocrisy was front and center, and it is unlikely to be any different going into April. And you all know where we're going. Part 2 is going to be very interesting, isn't it? Don't forget to smash the like on the way out, folks. Thank you.
So if someone's going to sit there on their high horse and lie and say that this person was a bum, didn't have a job, and then make fun of me for being with Swordfish, who was a leech, the only person, the person I was with before, after Pete's, still has a job, had a job the whole time. So where is that coming from? Lies, lies, lies. And